He built the tallest house of cards in 12 hours. It was on top of a fully loaded washing machine that was turned on and spinning at 1,000 revolutions per minute.
Just had to make it even more impossible. Of course, I was kind of terrified that I would get a couple hours into it and it would kind of start vibrating. I know it can't stay up forever.
Hey there, YouTube family. Guys, this market is getting pushed up by just 10 big tech stocks. And yes, it's the usual suspects. We're talking Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Nvidia, Amazon. And just like in the intro video, it's a house of cards. It's being built on a washing machine. In my view, the washing machine is the Fed with his constant threat of rate hikes, which nobody knows what will be the terminal rate, shaking the markets, and it's all going to come down at some point. The last card that's getting put on the top is probably going to be Apple. These guys are reporting earnings next Thursday, May 4th, after market close, and I'm sure it's going to shake up these markets. But let's just take a step back and talk about what exactly happened with Amazon. Basically, Amazon stock skyrocketed off of positive earnings. The run, it started at 4 p.m. Eastern time and it was basically over in just 2 short hours. Now this was actually a pretty unusual event, and I'm going to break down what I think happened, why it happened according to Wall Street, and then I'm going to tell you what is really going on. I'm also going to go over some technicals on Tesla and my current trade, and we're going to briefly touch on Apple going into next week. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you guys for hitting the like. If you're new to the page, then hit the subscribe and the YouTube all notification bell to get daily stock and crypto insights, charting, and analysis. But you need to know there are scammers in the comment section. They use my name, they use my picture. They're trying to get you guys to reach out to them on WhatsApp and Telegram. Don't fall for it. It's not me. So what really happened with Amazon? Well, before we get into that, I want to take a step back and look more broadly at how Amazon has been performing over the last couple years. To do that, we're going to look at the monthly candlestick chart because it gives us a nice clean view and a much broader view. We see that Amazon has basically been going up for a long time. For the last 6 years, these guys have been up over 1,200%, making it an incredible investment vehicle and putting it on every Wall Street watch list. We basically see that in 2021, Amazon twice reached the level of $188, and both times it got rejected hard from its upward move, giving us a clear double top rejection pattern and also 2 tall wick bearish candles, indicating that that upward move was over. Now, it quickly began to go into what I'd call the classic decline phase, and it sold off around 60%, as well as a lot of other big tech. It ultimately came down and reached the low of $80 and bounced. If you follow me, then you know that I loaded up on Amazon when it was around $100. I call it a buy going into these earnings. And yesterday at 4 p.m., they released earnings that absolutely blew the market away. They beat market expectations on their earnings as well as their revenue. Wall Street loved it, and the stock price shot up over 12%. Billions of dollars of market cap was created in just a couple minutes. A week ago, I did a video giving a target of $116, and it initially shot up right through that, hitting $119. And as soon as it passed my first target, I let the chat group know that the new target, level 2 target, was going to be $121. It did that, and it ultimately reached $123. Now, this is where things began to go wrong. Why did the stock drop? Basically, during the Q&A time with the executive team, a question was asked about Amazon's business sector, AWS. That's the Amazon Web Services. This is a sector that I recently talked to you guys about when I last covered Amazon. It's an area of high interest because this is where Amazon is investing in the use of their AI, artificial intelligence tools to distinguish and enhance their AWS services and to give a competitive edge to their corporate cloud service customers. And to everyone's shock, and in response to the question, one of the corporate managers revealed that April's sales, which isn't even a month that was being looked at for this earnings, had actually dropped 5%. Talk about a major career mishap. I would hate to be this guy right now. And as a result, the billions of market cap that had been gained in just under 2 hours quickly disappeared in just a couple minutes. Even though that was the trigger, in my view, it was not the reason. The reason is found in the charts, and it's so obvious to me, and I'm going to share that with you. There is obviously, guys, a clear sell zone in the charts above $110. We saw this on February 2nd when it shot up to $118. It quickly sold back below $110 on the same day. And all that's happened, even with this great earnings, the stock just simply did it again. It sold back below $110. Now, $110 is clearly serving as strong resistance, and this is where the smart money is taking profit because they know that all of big tech is going to be going lower, not higher from here. In addition, the reason why it all happened so quickly is because of algorithmic trading. All the big investment firms have tightened their trigger for their trailing stops. And in the past, it was a great idea to give Amazon and all the other big tech stocks room to move up because the overall trend was basically only moving up for many, many years. But right now, the percentage of trailing stop loss on Wall Street has shrunk. And if a stock begins to move south, it triggers a domino effect of sell orders. And that's, in my view, what we saw with Amazon. All the computer trades and all the sell orders began to just pile into one another. And just like the house of cards, it began to all fall down. It's another signal that there's a ton of more fear in the market than the VIX is currently showing us. Now, to remind you, the VIX is the measurement of fear and volatility in the stock market. But I think very, very soon that VIX is going to catch up with the true market sentiment, which right now is fear. Bottom line is Wall Street is scared. What is a good price to buy Amazon then? Amazon, these guys have a long-term support or a buy zone, just like the sell zone. They've got a buy zone between $90 and $80. Now, I think it's going to be coming down to that, and truthfully, I think it's going to break down. Their immediate support below is $103, which means it could pull back to 103 and bounce. But ultimately, in the coming days, I think we're destined to come back and test 80 bucks. And I think that if we break beneath $80, then we're going to see $65 on Amazon. And personally, I'm going to be a buyer all day long beneath $80, all the way down to $65 for my long-term retirement account. To do that, you've got to be willing to sit on cash, and you've got to be willing to be a patient investor. Okay, Tesla. A couple days ago, I identified $153 as a key support. And I told you guys in a video as well as over on the moomoo app. Now I'm going to go over Tesla, what I see going on there, and Apple in just a minute. But if you need better trade tools, then consider clicking on the link in the top pinned comment for the moomoo investment app. You can open up an account there, and they're going to offer you up to 15 free stock, as well as a potential cash coupon and a 1-month subscription to Benzinga Pro. That's going to help you with your options. But when you get all that squared away, you get your free stuff, and you start your investing, then you can come find a chat group that I host on the app called Stock Josh Fam. If you're a member of the chat, throw a heart in the comment. So on Tesla, a couple days ago, I showed you guys a descending channel. Now remember, descending channels are good, they're bullish, and ascending channels are bad, they're bearish. Now I loaded up, which was actually not very easy to do because I was still licking my wounds having held a small position going into earnings. Obviously, it did not do well. But this time, the decision to just buy at the levels of support paid off, and it paid off big. The stock jumped around 8%. This was a nice $11 move up. Now, currently, my stop loss is set at $163 right now. And resistance above is clearly that $171.90, which was once previously support, it's now become resistance. So if I don't get stopped out with my stop loss at 163 bucks, I'm basically trying to hold while it moves back up to resistance at 171. And that would be an $18 move up, so it's looking pretty good. Now, if you didn't get in at $153, don't follow me. Matter of fact, this is for educational purposes. I'm not suggesting what you guys buy, sell, or hold. I want to quickly cover some news stories which I think are very bullish for Tesla moving forward. These are the type of fundamentals that I keep in mind when I make these investment decisions. California bans new diesel trucks effective 2036, a world first. Basically, heavy-duty vehicles that are sold or registered in the state of California, they've got to be zero emission come 2036. Now, that's bullish for EVs and Tesla. But in the meantime, we know that the market's currently punishing Tesla for their price cuts that obviously hurt their profit margin. But I also believe that Tesla is a smart company, and these guys, in my view, are the best in class. And they're the ones that are going to be best positioned to take advantage of this increasing regulatory environment that we're seeing in California, and it's going to spread throughout the rest of the states in time. In addition, I want to highlight the new plant that's being built in Mexico right now. I think this is a huge news story, and even though you guys may have heard about it, I think it's important to keep in the forefront. This is absolutely another jewel in Elon Musk's EV crown. This thing is going to span 4,200 acres. It's going to be twice as big as the Texas plant, and after it's built, it's going to be the world's largest electric vehicle factory. This one plant will produce 1 million vehicles a year. Now, even though Tesla stock has lost shareholder value, the fundamentals, they basically show that this is a cash-strong company that's building in the recessionary environment towards its futures, expecting to be number one. This mega plant, in my mind, shows me that Tesla has stepped up, and as the poet Luda once said, "I'm on the rise, so many people despise me. Whoa, don't slip up or get got. Why not? I'm coming for that number one spot. Ford and Toyota swearing they're on top. Scheme, scheme, plot, plot. But I'm coming for that number one spot." That's Elon right now in his long-term goals, and I believe he can do it. All right, but let's talk right now about the true number one spot on Wall Street, which we all know goes to the king of market cap, and that's Apple stock, ticker AAPL. Now I'm going to briefly cover them because I'm going to cover them more going into next week. About a month ago, I called 168 and 170 a high for Apple. And with all this bullishness surrounding big tech, we've finally seen that number hit. We've seen Apple hit $169.95, just a hair below 170. So is that it? Is that the top? Well, perhaps not. I want you guys to look at the charts with me because Apple's just done something very interesting. It's crossed over its long-standing descending resistance line. And if it closes today above $168.57, then the next big historic resistance above is actually 175. The door for Apple just got kicked wide open if it gets a close above that number to move up from here going into next week. From a technical perspective, sometimes these things just seem inevitable. But the only way that I would change my view is if we saw a quick close back below $166, which so far does not look like it's going to happen. So my final thoughts on these big tech stocks propping up the market is that it's actually not very bullish. It's actually quite bearish. And I think that the final card that's going to get placed on top of this shaky environment is very likely going to be Apple. So we'll keep our eyes on Apple going into next week. We'll do it together. I'll give you fresh technicals then. If you've made it this far, then it's time to hit the like, the subscribe, and hit that YouTube notification bell and join the family. As always, my friends, peace and blessings. See you in the next video. Take care.